I am here with Kate Barr, who now can win the 14th Congressional District of North Carolina. She is running in that district as a Republican. Oh my God, I still like you. Kate Barr, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. My mom has finally come around to liking me again after this
Okay.
voter registration change, and so that has helped a lot.
Okay, that's good. We're all gonna work through it together as a team and remind everybody why you are running as a Republican in the Republican primary, where there's a perfectly, good other Democratic primary, or is it perfectly good other Democratic primary?
Well, we should come back and talk about that Democratic primary a little bit later, but I'm running as a Republican because, just like the rest of North Carolina, Congressional District 14 is gerrymandered AF, which means that it is virtually impossible for the Democrat to win in November. And we can't wait for fair maps. We have a Congress that is not doing its job, that's not exercising congressional oversight over an authoritarian fascist president. So I just swapped the letter next to my name to hold this congressman accountable.
And we are in a deluge of not being able to wait for fair maps in all different flavors all over the country. It means a lot of different things in a lot of different places. And so you're out there, you're running. And why is it important for the people of District 14 to listen to what you have to say about, what they need, and also why maybe the person who's in office now isn't giving it to them?
So I'm running against a man named Tim Moore. He is a freshman congressman, but he has been in the North Carolina State House for a decade. He actually served as Speaker of the State House for a couple of terms as well. He's responsible for our voting maps. He drew this district for himself, and he is also exceptional.
That must be nice.
I know,
That's
right?
Nice. I want to vote I want to make up stuff for myself that only I am qualified then to get.
Right.
Like, I want to make up like lotteries that like only I can win. That is amazing.
Well, it's like I need a pension, so I've drawn a district so I can live in DC for a while and then retire.
Sure. Lots of, I was going to say there's lots of good shows. Used to be lots of good shows in DC.
Used to be.
That is not so much right now, and seen anyway. But let's focus on what is going on in North Carolina, because that is what you are focused on. And if people only knew 2 or 3 things about you or about why it's important to vote for you, what would they be?
Number one is I'm gonna work to put money in folks' pockets. So, like, top priority, $100,000 federal income tax free for every household.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And that sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot anymore.
It's not
unfortunately.
Enough. Yep.
When you think about the cost of healthcare and everything else.
Yep. And then we have to work on lowering all of those individual costs of all of those domains, like healthcare, childcare, housing, groceries. I mean, it is too expensive for people to live a great life or even a good life. We saw that 60%.
Just like a nice life, and once a year or so you get to go on a vacation with your family to the beach or something.
Yeah, that's how I grew up, and so many people don't have that opportunity anymore. So that's one thing.
Much less just forget vacations. I mean, that's just a nice little thing. I mean, we're talking just like being able to get the healthcare to keep you healthy and alive. I mean, it's just food.
Right. Like basic human rights stuff is just, I think it's 60% of Americans, according to a CBS poll, can't afford a minimum quality of life. And, a way I would like to reframe that 60% is the majority. So most Americans.
Oh, you mean Americans can't? Oh,
right. Okay. Americans in general cannot afford a minimum quality of life. And that sucks. That means we've done something wrong.
And then, so in your part of North Carolina, which is sort of around Charlotte, Davidson, maybe it's going into a little bit of Hickory or so forth, right in there. And so what's a super local thing that's really important to people? Like, we're all experiencing the tax situation. I know that there's been a lot of still ongoing hurricane damage. I know there's a lot of other things going on in North Carolina. So what's super specific to you guys?
So folks may remember the videos of Chimney Rock, which is a small tourist town in North Carolina, essentially being entirely swept away by the floodwaters from Hurricane Helene. Well, Chimney Rock is in District 14. which is wild because Chimney Rock is several hours from my home. And that's a thing that happens with our congressional districts. But they have been waiting and waiting and waiting for federal funding that Congress already appropriated for them. And Kristi Noem just wouldn't sign the papers. And to me, if you represent a district that has towns affected by a natural disaster and you have voted to appropriate fund to like help those towns.
It's a law. It's a law that it's not just like we think everyone agrees they should get money. No. It's I'm going to clean it up. Excuse me. It's a freaking law that you have to give them the money.
Yes. And so I feel that our representative should have been camped out in front of her office door, offering to hold her hands and make the letter shapes for her to release those funds.
It should be priority one.
Right. That's like, you should have your little sleeping bag and you and Kristi should be on a first name basis, or she should at least recognize your middle finger just on sight.
You should be her worst nightmare.
Yes.
Right. You should be giving her the one finger Carolina salute. Yes. At that point.
Just on the hour, every hour.
So full disclosure, everyone, I lived in North Carolina for 8 or 9 years. I went there and still go on vacation for like 30 something years. I love it, love it, love it. So I am pro North Carolina, and I am not, this is not a dispassionate interview. I'm interviewing you. I don't interview that many people. It's because I really believe in you and what you do and what you're doing right now. And you're kind of who I want to be when I grow up. It's not
right back at you. Right back at you.
It's not gonna happen.
Yes, it is.
It's okay. I'm not gonna grow up.
Anybody can run as a Republican. It's not that.
Oh, sure. Oh no, that wouldn't involve growing up. No. I just mean just everything you do and all the like good work that you guys do and all the fact-based work, but also strategic work that you guys have been doing in your other capacities, aside from you running as a candidate. And so one last thing, because we're going to get to the fun stuff. It's Super Bowl weekend. It's also Olympics opening. There's a lot going on, but it's Super Bowl weekend and we're going to get to some fun stuff. I just want to know one last thing. If I'm a Republican in North Carolina, right? Very purple state, right? It should be pretty much evenly divided. But, what if I am a Republican in North Carolina in your district? Why should I not be thinking like, oh, she's just going to, if I vote for her, she's going to screw me over. She doesn't actually like me. Forget all the policy stuff. No, seriously. I mean, when it comes down to it, I think we don't talk enough about like how people want to believe that the representatives like sort of at least care about them as a person and are going to think about them as a human. And that sort of comes down to like, if I vote for Kate Barr and I'm a Republican, is she even going to freaking listen to me? Because maybe she doesn't really like me. This is just a game. Yeah. Why is that not the case?
I mean, like, it's a super valid question. And what I've been telling everybody is you can see how I'm going to lead based on how I'm running, which is with integrity. I'm not lying to anybody. I'm not trying to pretend I'm, hardcore MAGA, and I'm not. I mean, like, you will always know where I stand. I will always be honest with you. You might not like it, but I will always be honest with you. And like the whole point of this is to give voters the power to choose. Like that's how democracy is meant to work. And so I'm right here saying, all right, voters, everybody's pissed at Congress. I think Congress has like a negative 14% approval rating at this point. Like even dead people are, polling.
Right. Coming back to life just to say this.
Right. Their zombie forms have resurrected. I believe that voters should be able to look at candidates and what they stand for, and candidates should be honest about what they stand for. And then voters go to the ballot box and pick the candidate that they think should lead. And then that candidate should go to office. And if they do a shitty job, then the voters should fire them. Like that is how this is supposed to work.
You're just a candidate standing in front of constituency, asking it to vote for someone who's not full of BS.
Yes.
Right.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the Notting Hill strategy
That's
of
such
politics.
A good movie.
I don't even know if it is, but that is an amazing line. But it's a movie that I will watch over and over again. Actually, that's our next video because Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out. And I have so many long-held feelings about Devil Wears Prada 1, but that's not today.
Bring me back for that, please, because I too have big feelings about
Andy's not the hero of that story, guys. No. Andy's not the hero of the story. Andy's the villain of this story, and the Meryl Streep, she's the hero of that story. And Stanley Tucci is in a really dysfunctional relationship with her. It's true. Very upsetting. And I mean, but whatever. But Andy is spoiled. Yeah. Andy believes that she just graduated from college where she was editor-in-chief of her newspaper, so she should get a job at the New York Times or the Village Voice. Fuck you, Andy. Go work. Everybody else trying to be a journalist in New York has 3 jobs to support themselves.
And probably just got fired.
She just she sleeps with that guy. She goes, "Oh, did you read my script?" Oh, yep. It's everything bad. And then it's all like, you know what the big winning moment is? When she finally fits into a size 4. That's not great. No. We don't need that. Anyway, that's
and also florals for spring does deserve to be made fun of.
Oh my God!
Indeed, a bad idea.
It's that I have saved. I've only used it once. I have saved that sound clip to use in some amazing future Instagram reel. But floors are groundbreaking. It's amazing. Okay, so never mind about the Super Bowl. Okay, so you are in Western-ish. I know there's way Western, but you're in for someone who lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, spent a lot of time in Raleigh. You're in, from my point of view, you're in Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it is also home of the Panthers. And it is Super Bowl weekend. And you may or may not know this, but I am an expert on the history of Super Bowl halftime shows.
I do know this about you.
I've discussed this on many podcasts. Nobody cares, but every once in a while around this time of year, I get called upon for this very special expertise, and I get sent a lot of videos about it. Anyway, so we have an amazing halftime show coming up. We have you. I imagine you're a Panthers fan. Are you a Panthers fan?
Yes, a tortured Panthers fan.
Okay, well, I'm a Ravens fan, and we actually should have been going to the Super Bowl the last 5 years, so it's a different kind of torture. Yeah. So, birds, cats, not a good combo. So so you are a Panthers fan. You are you're solidly in Panthers country, and we are going to talk a little bit about Panthers Super Bowls and football in North Carolina generally, and also a little bit. I'm going to ask you a few questions and see how you do.
Oh no!
And
okay.
I think every time you get something right, Callie's for America should donate $5 to the charity of your choice. How about that?
I love that.
So we might give you some hints because it's for charity.
Okay. So I would choose Carolina Migrant Network is my favorite 501c3.
We can put the link in the bio. Shout out to the Cat Ladies, North Carolina Cat Ladies, based in Raleigh, Durham, and our chapter, the Cape Fear chapter in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we'll get that out. By the way, looking for a Charlotte chapter captain. Okay, so let's start with, do you know the 2 years when the Panthers went to the Super Bowl?
Oh, fuck. All right. It was once against the Cardinals, and they lost.
Are you sure?
Wasn't? Oh, no. It was not the Cardinals. It was
sure. Now
once against the Patriots and once against the Broncos.
Yes, correct. Do you happen to remember what year? This is just, do you remember when they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
I was in college or almost out of college. So that would have been like 2004, 2005.
2004. Stop right there. 2004.
Okay.
For the 2003 series. I think that's at least $10 right there.
Yay.
Now they did lose. It was a very close game. It was 32-29. It was a solid game. Now, do you know there's something about the Panthers and the Super Bowls they're in and the halftime shows? Ooh. Do you know what happened during the Super Bowl halftime show in 2004 when the Panthers played the Patriots?
Can you tell me who the artist was?
It is the biggest thing that has ever happened by accident in a Super Bowl halftime show.
Is that Nipplegate?
It is Nipplegate. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Who was what I consider the victim of Nipplegate?
Janet Jackson.
Right. And who did the de-nippling?
Justin Timberlake.
The nipple reveal, right? Say it again?
Yeah, Justin Timberlake.
Okay, right. Do you remember?
And then he totally threw Janet under the bus, which was wrong.
Look. that's in my third video coming out later today about the history of Super Bowl halftime shows. But and two, they gave Justin a second Super Bowl halftime show a few years ago. Where's Janet's second show? Where's Janet's second show? Okay, because to me, bigger hits. I'm Gen X. I know a lot more Janet Jackson. Moving on.
Rhythm Nation, please.
But listen to this gallery of rogues. The rest of the kind of the B level performers on this lineup for the halftime show. They had a few years where they did this a lot of compilation, like a lot of instead of one big band or one big act, they had sort of an amalgam. So it's Janet Jackson, right, who by far was a much bigger star than Justin Timberlake at that time, and to me still is.
For eternity.
This is who else is on that lineup: P. Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock. And then this is more just weird than anything. Jessica Simpson.
Shut up.
Just over there. So it's P. Diddy, Nelly, and Kid Rock. She never had a chance.
No.
Never had a chance. Okay.
No.
So that was when I looked and saw what halftime shows were associated with what Panther appearances in the Super Bowl, I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Now, do you know there's a few famous people, there are a few famous NFL players from where in and around your district. Do you know what wide receiver from your neck of the woods played in Super Bowl in 1981 and 84 with the San Francisco 49ers? He was a wide receiver. I didn't know his name. I knew about he did something so good in one of those Super Bowls that it has one of those names that everyone remembers,
dear.
like The Happening, but it wasn't The Happening.
I was 2 years old.
Okay.
And
keep bragging. Keep bragging, lady.
Yep.
I'm just gonna sip of my medicine here.
So let's see. 49ers. I know about Joe Montana.
Okay.
Is he a part of this?
Yeah, Joe Montana, he played with, right? But the player I'm looking for, and you may know, this is a deep cut.
It is a deep cut.
So we
do better on Housewives, if I'm being honest with you.
Wide receiver, not that great on either. He's a wide receiver, and it was he made a very important catch that is just referred to. When I said to my husband this person's name, he goes, "Oh yeah, you mean the catch?" That's just the catch, and it is Dwight Clark. Dwight Clark was a double Super Bowl ring winning.
Even when you say that name, I am still at a loss. But maybe
he went to. You need to look it up because he went to Garinger High School.
Yeah, I deeply apologize to Carolina Migrant Network for not knowing anything about Dwight Clark.
You know what? It's not their fault. We'll still give him $5.
Yay!
I'm going to tell you the name and where he's from, and you tell me if you can remember what team he played for.
Okay.
It's Will Shipley. He's from, I want to say, Weddington. He's a running back. So it's sort of near Charlotte. It may not be in your district because of the way the maps are drawn. He played in the Super Bowl, right, for the 2024 season in 2025 for this team.
For the Super Bowl. So let's see. That would have been Eagles.
Yes, Eagles. Okay. What player who is going to play in the current Super Bowl, it's coming up in just a couple days, is from Huntersville, North Carolina, near Charlotte?
That's Drake May.
Oh, that's $5.
Yay!
And then we are going back to the other Super Bowl that the Panthers have appeared in. Do you remember what year that was?
Okay, this was 2016.
Yes, ding, 2016. And do you know who they played in that Super Bowl?
Oh, man, all right, so it was the Patriots and the Broncos. So Broncos.
Yes, ding. And do you have any memory of who performed in that halftime show?
I do not, but I cannot wait to hear about them.
So this is not as catastrophic as just like lineup of horribles that was on the 2005 Super Bowl that they performed it. I mean, that they played in, or excuse me, the
2004.
It does not have the horrible, horrific lineup of like people of ill repute that were in the Super Bowl halftime show of 2004 when the Panthers were there. But it is just interesting to me personally. Coldplay was the headliner.
Yeah.
And they're just a little like kind of emo-ish and just a little like
I remember they did a lot of stuff with like color waves on the field, like
so people don't even remember that Coldplay was the headliner, because you know who came out on the field doing Lemonade? Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce came out, and then she was joined by Bruno Mars,
which is my favorite,
who I still want to see live because I bet he fucking crushes it live. They came out and they saved that Super Bowl halftime show in real time.
Like, I think that's the best I feel like paired performance in history.
Oh my God. And I feel like they were added seriously like 72 hours before the show. People are like, we've been watching the rehearsals and the Coldplay thing. It's not going to go well.
Yeah,
it's going to go badly, and we need to jazz this up. We get Beyonce's over here, Lemonade. She just did, because she had her own solo, like a couple years previous, and she was amazing. She had her old girl group friends up there, and it was super fun. And
she did Formation, right? Yeah. And she fell on stage.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, they were doing like a knee drop situation, and it like hit her booty instead of like a squat, and then just immediately, as though she had springs for legs, was right back up. It was
because she kind of does. And then and Bruno Mars is out there, and they just kind of come out on the field, and suddenly Coldplay is kind of gone. They're just gone from the halftime show. And all you remember is Beyonce in her kind of like regalia outfit from Formation and everything. And then Bruno Mars, and they're crushing it. And everyone's like, yay, I don't know who that opening act was. It's one of the most famous bands apparently touring the world. But thankfully, they got the real people in there.
We have now hit on, I actually did not remember Coldplay at all from this performance. But the Bruno Beyonce
combo
is what I used to show my daughter at bedtime when she was like 4 years old.
You see? And so that's what I'm talking about. Nobody remembers Coldplay. Like you did that whole thing and you didn't remember.
Not a thing about Coldplay.
That's like a core memory for your daughter. She won't know Coldplay was involved.
No, she won't.
And good for her.
Because I for sure fast forward through that part.
For sure. You're like, who are these guys? Get them out of here. Final, most important question. At least on this topic. What, besides Eric Church, what performer or two do you think should headline Super Bowl halftime show?
Okay, look, it should be Beyonce every year until Beyonce does not want to do it again.
Okay. Okay, how about somebody who hasn't done it yet? I'm not going to disagree with you.
Okay, here's mine. Kelly Clarkson. Because when I think about like the covers she could do, the like partnerships, she can sing anything with anyone and it would be like just kick ass. I also think Chappell Roan would be fun. And we probably need Olivia Rodrigo so that the young people want to watch.
I have one.
There's some people in this office. Yeah,
You're
go ahead.
Be embarrassed when I tell you who it should be.
Okay.
Dolly Parton.
Oh, duh. Of course it should be Dolly. Although
she can have all her friends, because then she can have Miley Cyrus in.
Yeah.
And then she can have all the. She can get everybody. And who is the? I'm 100 million years old. Who is the nice young man? Is it Shabuzi? Who is the nice young man who did the Christmas Bowl with Beyonce, the Cowboys game?
That was Post Malone.
Oh, Post Malone. So you know what I mean?
Like, but we should have Shabuzi too.
Yes. So I mean, you could put on. Dolly doesn't have to do all the work. Dolly doesn't have to do anything but stand there and sing her Dolly songs. But she could bring in everybody. She could bring in Beyonce. They did a duet.
That's true. I would take that.
I think it is. Even though you and I know She is a very liberal-minded person who has donated to many great causes, and also she's still Dolly Parton. And so
she's still Dolly Parton.
99% of Americans love her.
I agree.
For one reason or another. She would bring America together, and she would have a rainbow coalition of kick-ass people.
Yes, I completely agree. I also wouldn't mind if Benson Boone came in and did some flips off the piano during her songs.
Okay, well, that you're getting into like I know who that person is, and that there's music.
I'm gonna send you some links after this.
Okay, I don't have a child; it's a human child.
Yeah,
my cats are really classical music. We don't get along on that.
They're classy kitties.
They're classy cats, and so they. So I don't have to keep up in the same way with those people who have children. It's more like I go to comedy shows. I'm like, and I ask them, who's that song? And everyone else is like, there are apps that will tell you what song it is. I'm like, just fucking tell me who it is.
Yeah.
If people want to know more about you and more about your race and how they can help, where do they go? What should they do?
They go to katebarrcanwin.com. We have a really cool volunteer opportunity for anybody across the country. They can donate, share stuff on social media. It's at katebarrcanwin everywhere but Twitter, because we don't use them anymore.
Neither do we. And now we are going to send you, by my count, at least $35. And we're putting a link in the bio to the organization is, again,
Carolina Migrant Network.
Wonderful. And that link will be in our bio. And Kate Barr and your whole team that's hiding there off to the side, whom I've met in person many times, and I love them all. I miss you guys.
We love you.